ready for the end of the world. I gotta get my brother.
I'll get you there.
You don't know anything about him.
The others took Sam, and I'm gonna go get him.
We're fighting simultaneous attacks on the last metropolitan areas. If the fifth wave succeeds, humanity will be wiped from the face of the earth.
The others see our hope as a weakness, but they're wrong.
This is our home. They will not possess it.
The Fifth Wave is directed by Blakeson and stars Maika, Monroe, and Chloe Grace Moretz. And it is the first dystopian YA film of 2016. If you don't know what a dystopian YA film is, think of Divergent, Maze Runner, The Hunger Games. Pretty much where it's the end of the world and something goes wrong and there is a group or a young teenager trying to save it. And The Fifth Wave is just another one of those that falls right in. So being released in January, you always have your doubts. I mean, last year we got some of the worst January movies ever. The Boy Next Door, Mordecai, Strange Magic, Woman in Black 2. But this year actually has not been that bad. It's been bad, and it's been pretty bearable, but it's still January. And The Fifth Wave is just another. We have all seen this plot before. Just like I said, it's, end of the world apocalyptic, and there's the government, and then there's something wrong with the government. We've seen it before. Countless times. It's on the same track that's been used many, many times. Chloe Grace Moretz is probably the best part of the first act and a half. Her performance caught me off guard, because in the trailer they used all of her weak scenes. Of her screaming, of her doing all of the things that make her look like a weak actress. And she's running with her brother Sammy from earthquakes, disease, you name it, they're running from it. It's all CGI. Some of it looks good, some of it looks bad. It's a huge mix. And I was really surprised by the first act because it holds your attention. And it's like one of my favorites, The Day After Tomorrow, where the whole first act is just destruction and fun action. You have no problem with it up until about the middle of the second act. That is where a man comes in the picture. And he saves, quote, quote, Chloe Grace Moretz and brings her to his farmhouse. And he begins to care for her, and they get closer. But once she finds her gun in the floorboards, she goes AWOL and begins to run through the forest. But once both of them come back together and have to go on the run once again together, that's when it all goes downhill. She wakes up and he's gone, but she walks around and he's in the lake, shirtless, abs everywhere, he's washing himself. It's just the most cliche and cringeworthy YA scene I think I've ever seen. This whole movie was insanely cringeworthy. There was one scene where Zombie and Sammy were on bunk beds and they were trying to sleep. And Sammy started to sing, then Zombie started to sing this lullaby that I guess they both knew. I had to cover my eyes. It was too much for me. Albeit, some of the scenes are pretty shocking and catch you off guard, but that does not make up for its insanely rocky plot. But when the remarkable Maika Monroe came on screen, I had hope. I had hope for The Fifth Wave. Then she started talking. If you guys didn't know, her film, It Follows, that she starred in, is one of the best horror films in recent years. She deserves whichever award she gets for it because her performance is breathtaking. That is why I was so upset to see that her performance in The Fifth Wave was vastly flat in 2D. She was kind of like this bad girl, goth, knows how to shoot. She could not play the role, and I knew on the inside she was like, I'm screwed. Besides the largely flat performances and terrible CGI, The Fifth Wave is also powerfully predictable. If you've seen The Maze Runner and or Divergent and many of the other ones that came out in recent years, that's what The Fifth Wave is. Probably the most predictable movie so far of 2016, which isn't saying much, but it'll stay that way for a while. Fifth Wave is not original, it's cliched to hell, and the ending sets it up for a sequel that I'm not sure people want. And the cherry on top is the awful romance. And this guy's bombing this place. There's guys shooting at him, and they're just kissing right in the middle of it. Which makes me sad to say that I'm going to have to give The Fifth Wave a C-.